Hello everyone, my name is Afshan Abbasi. I'm a neonatologist and a CPQCC member. I would like to welcome you today to this instructional video on how to navigate through the CPQCC dashboard report. On the left side where it says the Health Equity Dashboard, click on the drop-down menu and we will be selecting the dashboard. Before we do that, notice all these reports that are available, and many of these reports have shortcuts embedded within the dashboard report. We are now looking at NICU dashboard, which is a summary screen for major items that can show you how your NICU performs and can take you to more detailed reports. Here you can track the essential data and quality indicators for your NICU. On top right-hand corner, you see years for which the data is available for your NICU. So let's click on 2020. Here you can see that the data is displayed into 5 sections: the NICU operations, 1 small babies, big babies, infection control, and HRIF. Within the sections, the data is displayed in form of tiles together with visual elements to help track the metric direction. You will also notice a general color scheme on this page. If a process or outcome has been in the direction of improvement, it is depicted in a teal color. But if it is trending mostly as a decline, it appears orange. While gray meaning process or outcome is trending within limits of a standard normal distribution. You will notice this color distribution for the background tiles, for the numbers, for mini trend arrows, as well as the decile bar at the bottom of each tile. Let's look at an individual tile. So let's look at the live births under the NICU operations. So there are numerous shortcuts under each metric to expand on and dive deep into specific measure of interest. There are shortcuts to display definitions, tables, charts, comparisons, and other important details. If you hover over an icon, it gives you a quick look of what does it stand for. But if you click on it, it gives you more details in the form of the tables, charts, definitions. Let's look at this one. When I hover over this book icon, it gives me a quick definition of what does the live birth mean. But when I click on it, it gives me a more detailed definition for the live births. Let's look at some of these other icons. So this particular icon that looks like a target, if I click on it, that shows us what got these babies into qualifying for CPQCC database. And then it takes me into this eligibility dashboard, which again is part of this drop-down menu. If you want to know how this distribution works, you can click on the drop-down menu again, click on Home, and then click on Dashboard. This will take you into this particular page where you can get more detailed reports about what do these tile means, what do these colors stand for, and what are these icons meaning. Let's go back to the dashboard report. All right, so let's look at an example that covers the dashboard concept. So let's look at the survival without major morbidity for the 1 small babies for the year 2020. So this numerical data tells us that this particular NICU has 59.94% survival without any major morbidity. The arrow depicts what is the trend for the year, while at the bottom, the decile bar tells us how does this NICU scores compare to the other NICUs or the other regions. So if you remember the color coding that we talked about before, the more teal, the better. So this one is kind of in the middle. If we hover on some of these icons, so if you look at the quick look, it takes into more detailed report about what is the survival without major morbidity for this NICU for 4,401 to 1,500 grams infants or 22 to 29 week infants for the year 2012 to 2020. This is a more detailed report. Clicking on the spider web is going to show us what are the components of survival without major morbidity in these infants. So the one that we saw in the definition, the chronic lung disease, NEC, nosocomial infection, severe peri-IVH, cystic PVL, severe ROP, or the ROP surgery. Clicking on the book icon gives me a more detailed definition of what does the survival without major morbidity in these babies imply. This particular control chart icon is going to take us into the control chart drop-down menu, where you're comparing this particular NICU to the CPQCC network for this outcome. Let's go back. Okay, and then we have this risk-adjusted trend or comparison. And finally, we can generate a CCS report from there for the active year. I hope this video has been helpful in giving you a brief overview on how to navigate through NICU dashboard. Thank you so much for joining.